California's housing market is shaking, and it's not just from earthquakes. In 2025, some of the Golden State's so-called dream cities are on the verge of a reality check. Home prices are sliding, listings are piling up, and for the first time in years, buyers are the ones dictating the game. Where are prices falling fastest? Which places have inventory going through the roof? Could your million-dollar fantasy home lose $50,000 overnight? From tech hubs to celebrity hideouts, let's break down the 10 California cities where home prices are expected to crash in 2025. And hey, if you want the inside scoop on every market shift, make sure to subscribe to Discover the Nation so you never miss out. Number 10. Los Angeles. Forget the Hollywood hype. LA is quietly unraveling behind the scenes. Sure, you've still got palm trees, movie stars, and those influencer-perfect streets, but in 2025, the market is losing its magic. Median home prices in LA County are stuck around $850,000, but under the glitz, neighborhoods are taking real hits. Prices are slipping 2 to 4% year over year. That's $17,000 gone on $1 million house, money that could have bought you a shiny new Tesla or paid for a semester at UCLA. Inventory is exploding, 50% more homes for sale compared to last year. Sellers are in full panic mode, slashing prices like it's the end of the world. Over 40% of listings had price drops in early 2025, and it's not just the ultra-wealthy feeling the sting. Mid-tier areas like Northridge, West Adams, and Eagle Rock are seeing tough negotiations, with buyers closing deals well below asking price. Even the luxury sector isn't safe. Beverly Hills mansions sit unsold for months, and agents whisper about the worst market in a decade. The real villain? Mortgage rates near 7%, making an average LA home cost over $5,500 a month, even with 20% down. Inflation is biting, tech and media layoffs are spreading, and wildfire insurance is now so expensive that some buyers just walk away. It's a perfect storm, and for once, the City of Angels might just be America's biggest real estate cautionary tale. Before we move on, don't forget to smash that subscribe button for more real market truths and breaking housing news. Number 9. Santa Cruz. Surf's up, right? Well, not for homeowners. This classic California beach town is feeling a market wipeout in 2025. Median home prices once topped $1.2 million, but now they're sliding, down almost 4% in just a year. Inventory has ballooned by 47%, and those breezy oceanfront listings are suddenly collecting dust. The competition? Fiercer than ever. Over a third of properties have cut prices, and sellers are offering everything from free kayaks to paid closing costs just to lock in a deal. What's fueling the crash? It's a perfect storm. Fewer tech workers buying second homes, strict short-term rental rules, and insane insurance hikes due to wildfire risk. Even Airbnb superhosts are pulling their listings as tourism cools. Local wages can't keep up, and monthly mortgage payments above $7,000 mean only the super rich can afford to stay, and even they starting to bail. Santa Cruz's legendary charm can't save it this year. It's still gorgeous, but for sellers, it's a race to the bottom. For buyers, the power is finally in your hands. Want more deep dives into surprising market losers? Hit subscribe so you're always ahead of the trend. Number 8. Long Beach. Long Beach has always bragged about its laid-back coastal vibe, the Queen Mary, and epic sunsets, but now the real estate mood is anything but chill. In 2025, the median home price hovers around $780,000, down nearly 2% year over year. What's scarier is inventory, up a jaw-dropping 50%. Homes that used to get multiple offers in days are now lucky to see a single open house visitor. Nearly 38% of sellers have slashed prices, hoping to stand out in a crowd of must-sell signs. But here's what's really stirring the pot. Layoffs at the port and local tourism jobs have hit hard, and a rise in crime is making some would-be buyers think twice. Mortgage payments topping $5,100 per month, rising property taxes, and growing regulations on Airbnbs have investors and homeowners both sweating. Even in trendy neighborhoods like Belmont Shore and Bixby Knolls, the real estate FOMO has turned to fear. In 2025, Long Beach isn't just cooling, it's a full-on buyer's market. If you've been waiting for a shot at the coast, this could finally be your year.
Number 7. Palm Springs. Palm Springs, celebrity getaway, desert glam, and mid-century modern heaven. But this year, even the playground of the stars is feeling the heat, literally and financially. Median home prices have dipped by nearly 3% in the past 12 months, and inventory is up over 49%. Homes that once sold in a weekend now sit for 6 weeks or longer. Over 33% of listings have price cuts, and those famous backyard pools? Not enough to keep buyers from driving hard bargains. What's to blame? Surging utility costs, insurance premiums through the roof due to fire and flood risk, and a dramatic slowdown in short-term rental income. The city cracked down on vacation rentals, slashing profit for investors who'd banked on Airbnb riches. Meanwhile, California's cost of living means even retirees, once the mainstay here, are downsizing or leaving for cheaper sun in Arizona or Nevada. So, for the first time in years, Palm Springs is no longer a guaranteed appreciation machine. It's an open question. Will the desert oasis become a buyer's paradise, or will prices stabilize if Fed cuts finally arrive? And hey, if you love insider market gossip, you know what to do. Hit subscribe, because we're just getting started. Number 6. Santa Ana. Santa Ana, Orange County's supposed affordable haven, is taking a beating. Median prices, which were creeping toward $800,000, are now sinking, down almost 2% this year. The inventory wave? Up 43%. Nearly a third of all homes have slashed prices, with more desperate sellers every week. But here's the twist. Mortgage payments are now over $5,000 a month, and wage growth just can't keep up. Local job markets are shaky at best, and rising insurance and property taxes are giving even longtime owners second thoughts. Many pandemic-era buyers are realizing their deal isn't looking so smart, especially as rental investors face new regulations and softer demand. The result? More listings, slower sales, and the end of Santa Ana's can't-lose housing streak. For buyers, it's finally your turn to negotiate. For sellers, buckle up. It could get rougher.
Number 5. Malibu. Malibu, the iconic coastal playground of celebrities and sunseekers, is finally showing cracks in its glamorous facade. Median prices, once soaring above $1.8 million, have dipped sharply, dropping by nearly 24% year-over-year to around $1.4 million. That's a significant correction for a market that many believed was untouchable. Inventory? It's ballooned. The number of homes for sale has surged by more than 50%, flooding the market with properties that just a year ago would have been snapped up within days. Now, many Malibu listings are sitting for 60 days or more, a stark contrast to the frenzied pace of the past. Nearly 45% of all active listings have had price cuts, signaling that sellers are struggling to find buyers willing to pay the once premium prices. What's changed? Affordability is the culprit, even here in Paradise. With mortgage rates near 7%, monthly payments on a typical Malibu home now exceed $8,000, pricing out many potential buyers. While Malibu's affluent residents have some buffer, broader economic pressures are hitting luxury buyers too. Rising property taxes, insurance premiums, especially wildfire-related costs, and increased maintenance expenses are squeezing owners and investors alike. Even the ultra-luxury segment isn't immune. Homes in coveted neighborhoods like Broad Beach and Carbon Beach, once reserved for the ultra-rich, are now lingering on the market longer. Sellers are offering incentives, such as paying closing costs, including luxury furnishings, or even sweetening deals with beachfront access upgrades just to close sales. For buyers willing to navigate this cooling market, 2025 could be a chance to own a piece of California's coastline at a fraction of the previous peak. But for sellers, it's a year of patience, price cuts, and hard negotiations. Malibu is no longer immune. It's part of California's housing reset. Number 4. Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara's always been untouchable. Celebrity estates, ocean views, and sky-high prices. But in 2025, the shine is fading. Median prices just slipped below $1.5 million, and inventory is up nearly 45%. The luxury market is stuck. Homes that once went off-market are now sitting for months. Price reductions? Over 31%, with sellers quietly panicking behind the scenes. Tourism has cooled, hitting the Airbnb market and squeezing second homeowners. Fire and flood insurance costs are up 20 to 30%, adding even more weight to buyers' budgets. Local wages don't come close to matching home prices, so out-of-town demand is the only thing keeping Santa Barbara afloat, and even that is fading as other states lure buyers with lower taxes and better deals. If you ever wanted to live in a postcard, your odds just improved. But for those hoping to cash out, 2025 could be a reality check.
Number 3. Sacramento. Sacramento was the pandemic-era sweetheart, flooded with eager Bay Area buyers looking for space, sunshine, and something that didn't cost millions. Home prices shot up a wild 40% between 2020 and 2022, but that boom, it's officially in the rearview mirror. Now, median prices sit around $495,000, sliding down from their $540K peak and 2.5% lower than just a year ago. But it's not just the prices that are shifting, it's the entire mood. Inventory has exploded 46% since early 2024, and homes that once sold in 5 days are now lingering for over a month. Around 36% of all listings have slashed their prices. The days of bidding wars? Gone. Replaced by negotiations, price cuts, and open houses with more donuts than visitors. Neighborhoods like Elk Grove, Natomas, and Rancho Cordova are feeling the chill the hardest. Buyers aren't rushing in anymore. Why? Mortgage rates near 7% mean a typical payment of over $3,800 a month, and for many locals, that's simply too much. Sacramento's economy, heavily anchored in government and healthcare, just can't keep up with the wage growth of cities like San Jose or Seattle. Buyers are playing it safe. Some Bay Area transplants are already throwing in the towel, choosing to rent, wait it out, or move on. Investors are also dialing it back as rent growth cools off. But this isn't 2008. Sacramento's not crashing, it's resetting. And for buyers with patience and timing, 2025 could be the sweet spot, the best chance in years to snag a solid deal. Zoom in on the local buzz and you'll see the signs of change everywhere. Midtown and East Sacramento, once hotbeds of bidding wars, are now home to stale listings and price chop signs. Agents report that buyers are showing up slower, touring more homes, and making bold, under-asking offers. And the real sticker shock? It's not just the mortgage. Rising taxes, insurance premiums, and even utility bills are punching holes in the affordable Sacramento myth. Wildfire risk and drought-related insurance hikes are making homeowners flinch. Even long-timers are pondering a move to Davis, Roseville, or Folsom, where things feel more manageable. Rentals? They're wobbling too. Rents that once soared have now stalled or dipped, eating into landlord profits. Some investors are underwater and forced to get creative, offering rate buy-downs, covering closing costs, or flat-out selling. Bottom line, Sacramento's market has cooled and reality has set in. The wild days are gone, but for strategic buyers, this is the moment to watch.
Number 2. San Diego. San Diego has always been California's postcard. Sun-soaked beaches, tacos by the ocean, and that year-round paradise vibe. But even paradise is starting to sweat. The median home price is holding near $875,000, but after years of relentless growth, prices are dipping, about 2.1% down over the past year. And with interest rates hovering around 7%, the pressure's building. Inventory has surged 61% year over year, jumping from under 4,000 listings to over 6,000.
Nearly 40% of active listings have chopped prices, and homes that once sold in a weekend are now averaging 40-plus days on market. The affordability squeeze is very real. A median home with a 7% mortgage, that's over $6,000 a month, and the average San Diego income, around $85K. The math isn't just tight, it's impossible for many. The job market is cooling too. Tech-adjacent roles and tourism, two major drivers here, are softening, and a wave of short-term rental regulations is scaring off Airbnb investors. That once certain path to passive income, it's starting to look shaky. Even the most coveted zip codes, La Jolla, Del Mar, Pacific Beach, are seeing repeat markdowns and tepid buyer interest. Where open houses once drew lines, now it's crickets. Developers of high-end condos are throwing in incentives, HOA waivers, even free parking spots to sweeten the deal. And rentals? Not immune. Downtown and Mission Valley's building boom means more supply, higher vacancy, and flattening rents. Landlords are feeling the squeeze, especially as restrictions mount and competition grows. The message from local economists is clear. If the Fed doesn't move soon, and if remote work continues to evolve, San Diego's can't-lose status could be on shaky ground. That ocean breeze is still dreamy, but 2025 could be the first year in a decade where buying power finally swings back to the buyers. Number 1. San Francisco. San Francisco. Glamorous, expensive, and the epicenter of the tech revolution. But in 2025, the cracks are impossible to ignore. The city once seen as bulletproof is now bending under pressure. Median home prices are now sitting at $1.12 million, down $40,000 from 2024, and marking a 3.5% annual decline. But in many fringe neighborhoods and condo-heavy districts, it's worse. Some sellers are slashing prices just to get a showing. Inventory is up 43% year over year, and homes that once triggered 10-plus offers now sit for 50 days or longer. Roughly 35% of listings have price cuts. This is no longer the San Francisco of FOMO and frenzy. It's a new era, and it's all negotiable. Even the most iconic areas, No Valley, Pacific Heights, Marina, are feeling the shift. Listings are quietly pulled, relisted with lower prices, or loaded with seller concessions. Condos in Soma and Mission Bay, they're sitting unsold for months. Developers are getting desperate, offering free months, waivered HOA fees, even free parking spots to sweeten the deal. And rentals? Not immune. Downtown and Mission Valley's building boom means more supply, higher vacancy, and flattening rents. Landlords are feeling the squeeze, especially as restrictions mount and competition grows. The message from local economists is clear. If the Fed doesn't move soon, and if remote work continues to evolve, San Diego's can't-lose status could be on shaky ground. That ocean breeze is still dreamy, but 2025 could be the first year in a decade where buying power finally swings back to the buyers. Number 1. San Francisco. San Francisco. Glamorous, expensive, and the epicenter of the tech revolution. But in 2025, the cracks are impossible to ignore. The city, once seen as bulletproof, is now bending under pressure. Median home prices are now sitting at $1.12 million, down $40,000 from 2024 and marking a 3.5% annual decline. But in many fringe neighborhoods and condo-heavy districts, it's worse. Some sellers are slashing prices just to get a showing. Inventory is up 43% year over year, and homes that once triggered 10-plus offers now sit for 50 days or longer. Roughly 35% of listings have price cuts. This is no longer the San Francisco of FOMO and frenzy. It's a new era, and it's all negotiable. Even the most iconic areas, No Valley, Pacific Heights, Marina, are feeling the shift. Listings are quietly pulled, relisted with lower prices, or loaded with seller concessions. Condos in Soma and Mission Bay, they're sitting unsold for months. Developers are getting desperate, offering free months, waivered HOA fees, even home office furniture credits to make a deal. And rentals? Not immune. Downtown and Mission Valley's building boom means more supply, higher vacancy, and flattening rents. Landlords are feeling the squeeze, especially as restrictions mount and competition grows.
The message from local economists is clear. If the Fed doesn't move soon, and if remote work continues to evolve, San Diego's can't-lose status could be on shaky ground. That ocean breeze is still dreamy, but 2025 could be the first year in a decade where buying power finally swings back to the buyers.